Let's get this out of the way. The national anthem is a really hard song to sing. Combine that with singing in front of hundreds of thousands of people, and you're going to get a few mishaps along the way. That said, not everyone will be able to belt it out like Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston. Whether due to technical issues, artistic expression gone wrong, or just downright bad singing, here are the worst national anthem performances ever sung. Fergie. At the NBA All-Star Game in February 2018, Fergie attempted a jazzy rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Unfortunately, her vocal runs, odd timing, and bizarre inflections butchered the song completely.
That our flag was still there.
Adding insult to injury, several NBA stars and celebrities, including Jimmy Kimmel, couldn't even contain their laughter during the performance. Kimmel, who didn't realize he was on camera at the time, later addressed the incident on his show.
And in Fergie's defense, we don't know what Francis Scott Key was thinking when he wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. Maybe he wanted it to be sexy.
Following her cringeworthy performance, Fergie told The Hollywood Reporter, "I'm a risk-taker artistically, but clearly this rendition didn't strike the intended tone. I love this country and honestly tried my best." Michael Bolton. Michael Bolton can serve vocals for days, but no one is immune to the sound issues or sudden memory loss. While singing the national anthem ahead of an ALCS game between the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox in 2003, a terrible echo in the stadium destroyed Bolton's performance. And even though he still delivered the best performance he could, Bolton wasn't completely prepared. He didn't even try to hide it when he peeked at the lyrics he'd written on his hand. Christina Aguilera. Grammy winner Christina Aguilera has the pipes to deliver a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Unfortunately, at the 2011 Super Bowl, she focused more on vocal acrobatics than on remembering the lyrics. As a result, she got her verses mixed up.
What so proudly we watched at the twilight's last streaming.
It sounds fine enough, but for context, that's the part of the song that's supposed to go, "Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming." Yikes. Aguilera later apologized for the mix-up, saying, "I got so caught up in the moment of the song that I lost my place. I can only hope that everyone could feel my love for this country and that the true spirit of its anthem still came through." Scott Stapp. At the NASCAR Ford 400 in November 2005, former Creed frontman Scott Stapp slurred out a grungy rendition of the national anthem, turning the lyrics into a weird, tuneless syllable soup.
Oh, say, can you see?
Of course, the question isn't whether he should have sung it differently, the question is, was anyone expecting him to?
And the land of the free.
Aaron Lewis. Stained frontman Aaron Lewis's performance of the national anthem at the World Series in 2014 left a lot to be desired. The vocals were flat and lackluster, and there was an audible struggle with some of the high notes. He also flubbed the lyrics a bit.
What so proudly we hailed, were so gallantly.
It may have been a bit of karma for Lewis, who'd previously slammed Christina Aguilera's own botched performance of the song, saying, "I guess I just don't understand how people who sing the national anthem can be so f***ing self-absorbed that they would try to change that f***ing song. If there is a single song in the history of this country that deserves no creative interpretation, it's that one." Lewis later apologized, writing on Facebook, "All I can say is I'm sorry and ask for the nation's forgiveness. My nerves got the best of me and I'm completely torn up about what happened. I hope everyone can understand the intensity of the situation and my true intent of this performance." Carl Lewis. Carl Lewis is a talented man, with 9 Olympic gold medals in track and field to prove it. Unfortunately, none of that mattered when he performed the national anthem at a 1993 NBA game at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Quite simply, it was a nightmare.
Oh, say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag.
He later explained what happened on Oprah's Where Are They Now?
And so I was actually under the weather and did not want to do it because I said, I shouldn't do it, but then you can't back out. So I shouldn't have sang that day. I've been on interviews and they'll say, they'll just laugh it up. And I'll say, isn't it funny? My anthem 25 years ago has been seen by more people than your show.
R. Kelly. R. Kelly was clearly going for a Marvin Gaye vibe with his 2005 rendition of the national anthem before a boxing match, though the singer definitely made the song his own.
What's so proudly we held by the twilight's last gleam.
Kelly also incorporated some awkwardly placed hand claps and Chicago step dancers to create what was basically a remix of his own Step in the Name of Love at the expense of Old Glory.
Come on, clap your hands!
Hey, at least he didn't work in Trapped in the Closet. The Fray. The Fray tried to put their own spin on the Star-Spangled Banner for their April 2012 performance at the NCAA title game. Unfortunately, it didn't work so well. The guitarists were out of sync and the whole performance was fairly lackluster. The band was, at least, self-aware of the failure, tweeting, "Upon thinking about it, doing the national anthem is a bit like choosing between Jif and Skippy. You just can't please everyone." Steven Tyler. Steven Tyler has one of the greatest voices in rock and roll history, which is why it was so upsetting that he butchered the national anthem more than once. While performing the Star-Spangled Banner at the 2001 Indy 500, he started with an improv harmonica solo. Then he added his own flair to the lyrics. He didn't fare much better in 2012 when he sang before the AFC Championship game in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Oh, the land of the free.
Tyler later talked about that particular performance with the Associated Press and said that he wasn't sorry about a thing.
So I nailed that note, and you know what? They don't like it too bad.
Beyonce. Beyonce visibly suffered from audio issues during a performance of the national anthem at President Barack Obama's inauguration in January 2013. It was so bad that she ended up removing her ear monitor during the song. The move led some people to speculate that she lip-synced the entire performance. Beyonce came clean about the whole thing in a press conference.
Due to no proper sound check, I did not feel comfortable taking a risk. I decided to sing along with my pre-recorded track.
It may have made for a messy live performance of the national anthem, but there's no doubt that Beyonce can sing the song. To prove it, she sang an a cappella rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner at the same NFL press conference. Roseanne Barr. In July 1990, Roseanne Barr gave what might have been the worst rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner in history. Years later, she talked about the performance with Raw Dog on SiriusXM and explained that she knew as soon as she started that she wasn't going to be able to do the song justice.
I just thought, what the hell, I'm a comic and I'm going to make it funny, because I have way overshot my wad here.
After all that, one would think that Barr would have some sympathy for other performers of the national anthem. But the comic still dissed Fergie for her 2018 NBA All-Star Game rendition, tweeting, "Who saw Fergie's national anthem performance at the NBA All-Star Game? I think mine was better, low-key. We'll let fans decide that for themselves." Thanks for watching. Click the Nicki Swift icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.